So this is the start of the loop. People call the loop the horseshoe, the meadow, whichever you want to call it. It's been called all sorts over the years. Stretches all the way around the back. You can see the houseboat at the back there. It's all the way around this island and joins back up with the main river. And a lot of matches on this area. It's a good spot. All this loops. A lot of mixed species in this section. When the water's up, obviously you can imagine the barbel is spread around the river, so you pick the barbel up down here as well. It's a good spot for chub, carp, barbel, everything really. All your bits and bobs, roach, dace, bleak, the lot. So it's this bit classed as the canal section. The river splitting off at the back over there, running around the back here. When the water's up in flood, across the road, there we've got a flood lock. And when the water's up and it's in flood, obviously this is all, it just stops, no flow. And I imagine a lot of the fish gather up in here. The flow pushes all the way around the island and this just stops. So it's a good area to be fishing when the water's up and it's flowing through. Blah blah blah. Muddling my words up here. You have to excuse me. So walking down, getting another sign there. Members only water, Victoria water. The ticket's only £25 for an adult. I think concessions are about 14 or something around that. So for the amount of water you get, it's a cheap ticket, very cheap ticket. And you get all of this stretch, all this meadow, the loop there, looking back, all this main stretch of the river all the way up to the deep lock, which I'm going to walk up to now. And then over the deep lock we've got a weir island. It's on the ticket now, that we've been working on the last couple of years to get easy fishing access to, but it's easier said than done. There's still quite a lot of work to be done down there, but it's coming along. It's definitely a lot different to what it was a couple of years ago. So I mean, this is prime area here where this splits off. There's a lot of silvers knocking about here. And I can see smallens topping now, just walking past. So a lot of predators in the water as well. A lot of perch get caught down here because there's so many bait fish hanging about, especially when that lock's shut. All this section here, then it's got no flow on it. It's a nice little haven for the fish to sit in and get out the flow. So I'll walk a bit further down and then I'll show you some of the pegs on the main river before we get to deep lock. Well, I've just walked down to the first bend on the river, which is what I'm looking at now. This is probably 4 or 5 pegs leading up to this. Still productive pegs. I mean, majority of them are, to be honest. I don't think there's a bad peg on here. But this is the corner. These are good pegs for the chub. I mean, the best chub peg's a bit further up, which I'm going to walk to now and show you. Tends to do really well in the matches. 5 or 6 chub in a match, you know what I mean, up to £5, £6 sort of thing, and it's building up a good weight. So pegs are quite accessible as well. I mean, so you can imagine time of the year it's a bit sludgy and muddy, so it can be slippy, so best to be a bit careful, but we try to do our best with the pegs. Should be another one just down here as well. They're not too close together. I mean, there's this one here, but it's not really cut out as a peg. It's more of a just standing there and flicking out the stick float down the centre. This is the other main peg. I mean, that one don't really get used in the matches. It's more accessible here, look. Nice flat area to put your gear on and stand down there in the water and fish. Another good peg, this. But the best peg, I would say, for a chub on this section is this next one we're coming to now. There's been some crackers out of here, especially last year. This year's been a bit shy on the chub for some reason. I've only had a couple myself this year, up to £5.5. Whereas I had quite a few last year, so. But this is the best chub peg on here. We don't know why, it doesn't look like anything, to be honest. Here there's not a lot of cover, but just here, between that tree and that tree, that's your peg right there. It's not much of a peg, I admit, but you can stand down there, you can see it's quite shallow. It's quite shallow down there, so stand there and fish out, and it's halfway out into the river. It's a cracking peg. Does really well in the matches. So I mean, these pegs would be what I favour myself, to be honest, from the chub peg upwards, because you're pushing closer up to the weir. There's always a chance of a nice barbel coming out from these parts as well. They're not always round the weir. We do venture out now and again, but good pegs these are running up here. I mean, there's five, I think there's 5 or 6 running up to where the lock is, and they're all quite productive pegs. Definitely ones I favour anyway, and I've had a cracking year so far. And admittedly the banks are not great on some of them, but you can't cut them back, so you can only cut the vegetation back. We'll just get round into this next peg, and then we'll have a look a bit further up towards the weir island. Nice open peg here. Not easy access this one, but it's alright once you get down there. It's nice and shallow. It's nice to stand out in the water down there. As you can see further up, you see the foam on top of the water coming from the weir. There's an island there, and that's where I'm going to be going next. So I'm going to wait until I get up to the lock, and then I'll carry on. Well, this is deep lock. Couple of lads pike fishing and dog going mad with a stick at the minute. Nice area. What are you doing? Crazy dog. But yeah, we've got deep lock. Cross over deep lock to get to the weir island. Nice spot for pike fishing there. Big area of water to cover as well. Well, I've just walked over the lock. As you come over the lock, straight in front of you is the path. I'm going to walk through here. Looks beautiful this time of year as well. The first peg, it's actually the path splits off here, left and right. First peg's down to the right. There's some steps here. And this bit's a bit dicey down here though. Oh. And then this is the first peg. Lovely peg. Nice bit of cover from the trees. Nice little back bay here. It's very shallow there, but you get carp hanging about around there in the summer months, all around this tree. Yeah, it's a good peg as well. I've had some barbel, plenty of bream out of here. Really good for roach fishing and everything as well, for bits. I'm going to look at the next couple of pegs. Plenty of planes going over here. Right, back to where the path splits off. I'm going to walk down this way now to the second peg, which is just here. I mean, all the pegs are nice on here, to be honest. Plenty of snags to fish to and everything. Nice pegs. They all catch fish. It's all about bait. You've got to get it in there to catch fish. If you're not putting it in, it's not as easy to get the takes. You've got to actually drop on the fish, and that's easier said than done down here. This is the third peg, which we've left. We did cut it out a little bit to get down there to have a good look beginning of the year, but there's a really good snag in there, so we've left this one to overgrow again, and it doesn't get used, to be honest. It's really snaggy. There's a lot of snags on the bottom you can't see as well. I've had a feel around the lead and lost a few leads, trust me. It's not a good peg to be fishing in. But hopefully we'll get it sorted out ready for next year. So we're not counting that one as the third peg. Well, that'll make this one the third peg. This one's quite easy access. Nice spot. And some nice snags down there to the right. There's a nice snag there to the left. Nice peg. Doesn't get fish much, this one, for some reason. I think snags do probably put some people off, but I've caught fish in here and it's quite easy really to control them through that. The ones on the right aren't as bad as you think, to be honest. I've had fish go under it and still been able to get them back through quite easily. So another good peg. Right, we'll have a walk down to the fourth peg. This is a peg that I've been fishing over the last week. I've probably done 5 sessions in it. I had my PB barbel out of it on the second to last night at 13.6. It's a cracking fish for down here as well. And this is the one. It's the widest part of the river on this island. Let's spit the ducks out now. Bit awkward to get down. Not as easy, but it's a nice flat area here still. Very shallow at the side there. Very slippy getting down to the water, so you have to be careful. Nice little snag in the right there. But this is the widest point. And some backwater right over on the other side against the tree, coming back on itself. This is a good spot. Nice snag down. Plenty of places for the fish to hide about anyway. Well, probably had 3 barbel out of here in 5 nights. And a couple of bream as well. But there has been another barbel caught out of here in the meantime as well. So, alright, we'll go and have a look at the 5th peg. Another good peg. And the other bailiff for the stretch has been fishing it for, well, an extra night compared to me. He's done 6 nights in it. He's had an 11.3 and a couple of smaller ones. So again, good fishing. And a good peg as well. Not as popular because it is a little tight, but still, it's a nice peg. A bit snaggy there to the right at the side, but again it's quite shallow right in front of you. But it does deepen off a bit quicker. See, someone's lost a rig just there. Interesting. Little black boilie on it by the looks of that. At least there's no lead hanging from there. But yeah, this is a good peg. Been fished well this year. Go on and look at the next one. We'll be pushing closer up to the weir now. Probably hear it getting louder. I mean, this has had some good catches in this year as well. I mean, I have had carp out of the other pegs, but I've had a couple out of here. I mean, this tree has fell in during the last flood. Was going to pull it out, but we've left it in. Fish sensibly, you can use it to your advantage. Before the tree fell in, a friend of mine had a 13.4 barbel and an 11 barbel. He had 5 all together, a couple of 8s and a 7 and a chub. Fishing overnight, about 10 hours worth of fishing, and I was in the next peg up. I just had one in the morning at £9 something. So it's good fishing, it's still fishing well, even with this tree in the water. Kind of got used to it. I've had a 10-10 barbel, I think biggest from this peg for me. And I've had I think it was a 15 common out of it as well. But we're going to look at the next one. This is the next peg. It's not an easy one to get down to the water in. I mean the water's starting to clear a bit now. It's been quite cloudy for the last few weeks because of I've had another flood in it. But I've had a mirror from here this year, first session of the year I think it was, 8.5. It's been good. This peg fish as well. I mean, where these bulrushes are, there is a channel that runs round the back and along here and then out. But it's at least over your waist deep, so you're talking there's a good 3 foot of depth just there, 3.5 foot. That's the first bit it shallows off at, that deepens off at, sorry. I'm going to have a look at the last 2 pegs. These are the shallowest pegs on the island. When it clears up properly you can see all the streamer weed in the water all the way across. I walked across all this and it's only just came over my knee. But there is a channel running at the back along under that willow. You can see where the water's going back on itself a little. There's a channel that runs all the way along the back over there, all the way down to the tip of that island, and it shallows up again. I mean, we're getting near to the weir now. You see the weir through there. We've also got a side weir here as well. So we'll just go up and have a look at the side weir. Walk up here so it's a bit steep. Looks beautiful down here, all the leaves on the floor there. And there's the side weir. And then we're back up to the canal. And there's the lock that we came over. Been a couple of caught from the canal further up this year. Nice 19 ghostly apparently as well, so yeah, this is the side weir. You can see the big weir through there. And that's the weir island done. There's some cracking fishing on here this year, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. Get down here and do some fishing. It's well worth it.